HT's intraday volume is still between 613 and 4484, which is very important from a realistic point of view. EMA 10 for Helium generally shows a very downward trend. Helium has a medium-term problem at $5.02, which is a big deal, and the HNT support bottom is $4.27, or so they thought. Until July 2, 2023, we'll show you how to figure out how much Helium will cost now or in the future in this movie. What do you think the real price of Helium will be in the short term? HNT is a very smart project that has a lot of levels of Helium support and pushback. But before we get too far into the HNT technical analysis, we should talk about the very important business. Market research shows that there has been a loss of $1.84 in the last 24 hours. This brings the total amount of digital money on the market to $1.95, $618, $172, which is a very large amount. The total amount of cryptographic cash used in the real world is still $2,476,597,794 The price cap for Helium in the next few years is $5.02, which is a very important number. In a very important matter, Bitcoin has 49.56% of the entry market, while Ethereum has 16.33%. This caused Bitcoin's price to drop to $30,513.42 after a 0.19% drop, showing that Bitcoin's value had been higher. Before we get too far into the HNT technical analysis, let's talk about the current economic situation, which is mostly very big for a lot of different digital currencies. For example, Ethereum's value has gone down by 0.51 in the last 24 hours, from 1915.50 to 1915.50, which shows that HNT's intraday volume is still at 613.4484. And BNB was traded at 244.84 cents fall while this blog was distributed. XRP, a local currency, is up by 1.54 and is currently trading at 48 cents. This shows that, before getting too deep into the HNT technical analysis, we should talk about the current economic situation, which is different from what most people think. Coco's BCX fell to 60 cents after it lost 0.77 of its worth. This is a big drop, which shows that the market is currently going down. All Things Considered looks at how Coco's BCX fell from 77 cents to 60 cents, which is a loss of 0.77% and a big drop at the moment. On the whole, the crypto market is going down by a lot. HNT Helium performance of the market. The daily graph of Helium shows that the price of HNT has gone down by 0.34% in the last 24 hours. But, contrary to what most people think, the Helium HNT coin's value has stayed the same at $3.50, and its market size is still $423,722,611. This means that HNT's intraday volume has stayed at 61.34 for 84, which is a very important amount. Over the course of a week, the price of HNT changes by 12.01, but its amount stays the same at 61.34 for 84 US dollars. Below is a test for Helium value HNT price study for July 0 through July 2, 2023. The same and different mapped backing levels, opposition levels, different time span moving midpoints, including certainly basic moving pretty. It is normal for EMA to look at the future of Helium in a non-intrusive way, while HNT's Williams percent R measure is at 69.632 for the past 14 days, showing a non-partisan situation. A trade pretty sign is possible at this point, which is very far. The mapped line is still below the type of sign line after a mix that opposes direction at 36. The RSI is close to being oversold, and it is trying to break out of the negative zone. In a week, the price of HNT changes by $12.01. But the average trading volume is around $6,134.84, which shows that the price hasn't changed much before starting the HT technical analysis. Let's talk about how the economy is doing right now. In spite of what most people think, Helium has lost all of its grips. And the future doesn't look good. Bitcoin, BTC, falls back below $30,000, but if these correlations hold, it should go up. Re-emerge. Bitcoin, BTC, the digital currency that runs the world's largest decentralized cryptographically secure network, fell about 1.5% on Tuesday to around $29,700. Earlier in the day, it briefly hit new one-month lows around $29,500. The cryptocurrency has been losing steam since it hit a new yearly high near $31,800 last week. At the time, it was helped by 1. Wall Street heavyweights filing for spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, ETFs, and 2. A U.S. judge's ruling on XRP that markets saw as crypto bullish. In its most recent drop, BTC has fallen about 2.5% below its 21-day moving average. If the cryptocurrency loses support in the mid-$29,000 range between late June and early July, it is likely to drop to support in the mid-$28,000 range. Even though the technical picture for Bitcoin in the short term is not good, BTC could be helped by macro tailwinds. In fact, Bitcoin could be set up for a pump if a few of its typically strong correlations, like with the U.S. stock market and the U.S. dollar, return. If these correlations come back, the price of Bitcoin, BTC, should go up. In the last 3 or so years, Bitcoin has been strongly linked to the U.S. stock market in a good way. That could be because even though Bitcoin has become more popular in recent years, most buyers still saw it as a risk asset and traded it like stocks. Like the stock market, Bitcoin seemed to have a good relationship with more money being available. In fact, in 2020 and 2021, both Bitcoin and the stock market went up because of low interest rates and a lot of quantitative easing, QE, from the world's major central banks. In 2022, both Bitcoin and the stock market went down sharply because the world's major central banks were raising interest rates quickly because inflation was so high. The chart below, made by coinmetrics.com, shows that there has been a sharp drop in the connection since 2023. That could be because some people are starting to see Bitcoin more as its creators and biggest supporters have always wanted it to be seen, as a safe haven alternative to the controlled, inflationary fiat currency-based financial system. That's why Bitcoin went up in March, when smaller banks in the U.S. were failing, but U.S. stocks went down because investors were worried about how the mini-crisis would affect economic growth. The